Going on, guys? Dylan here. Today we'll be getting to a ticker symbol analysis on the ticker symbol MSTR strategy. We have seen strategy in a spring loading like phase where stock price is getting very, very tight, getting ready for the next movement, whether that is to the up or the down. That is what we'll find out in today's video, guys. We're going to start our technical analysis over on the weekly time frame. On the weekly analysis, guys, we do have a weekly bull flag continuation breakout to the upside, stemming all the way back from 2024. Stock price rose up for entering a multi-month consolidation, ultimately getting that nice big wide bar to the upside with volume signifying a breakout. Stock price rose dramatically. Right, if we get a trend line to chart that, around 200% in price action for forming another flag. This one being more sloping, eventually once again getting that nice big wide bar signifying a breakout to the upside. Right, being a little bit short-lived prior to the last flag, stock price did flip around at these obvious highs where in the past, guys, we rose 200%. No room at all to the down, just complete up, no problem at all. Before stock price had these obvious wicks, being very, 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 very patient. Right, we're at these wicks. So within this breakout, stock price has started to pull down at these levels, which we do expect. It makes sense, guys. This is the number one resistance on the weekly. As once stock price gets over that 440 last level to that $400 region, this rough region, I mean, there's a massive gap of resistance, guys. You've arguably room all the way to the all-time highs after that to 543. Right, we do the psychological $500 resistance marker lined up, but really 543 is the next concrete resistance. With that being said, though, let's get a price target for this weekly bull flag. We get a 50% retracement of this flagpole-like structure, which does offer a lot more of a realistic price target than taking this full structure, right? 50% retracement. We take that, guys, to the bottom of the breakout. That perfectly lines up with that psychological $500 resistance marker. We do feel that it's very, very realistic on the channel. We have set that price target out since we broke it at 320 bucks, right? Being 400 bucks, 440, and 500. So we still have two more price targets to go. And that's a very realistic price target, guys. So with that being said, now that we have the long-term structure of what's going on, the direction we're moving, guys, which is clearly up, right? It doesn't take a genius to tell you that, guys. But as of now, we're dealing with a short-term consolidation pullback-esque phase. So now looking at these structures, guys, we definitely do see a pinch, almost a pennant-like formation on the weekly time frame, right? Arguably a cup and handle being that stock price regressed all the way back, forming right back to these highs, and now we're having a handle-like formation. Right, I typically don't like to use these kind of structures when we have a flagpole-like structure. It's typically cup and handles, just they don't happen after a massive move up. But that's besides the point. We are seeing stock price obviously confluence, getting tighter and tighter as the weeks transpire, leading to a movement soon, guys. And that's really the number one sign that we get on the weekly. Right, we see stock price in this spring-like effect where it's just really getting tight and candles remain to get thinner and thinner and thinner as it transpires live, knowing that really, guys, within the next 1 week, we should see the either confirmation to the downside, right, to go a little bit lower and find a low to bounce, perhaps amongst that 354 support level or others, or if we see this break to the upside, reapproaching the top and ultimately breaking out. So stock price is definitely in a spring loading like effect, which is why you're seeing not a lot of volatility, right? And MicroStrategy lives off volatility, man. I mean, just look at these movements. You know, it's a very, very strong stock. It can be very, very explosive, but we're seeing stock price coil up. On the weekly analysis, as of now, we're not getting enough data to point to that upside breakout or the down. So this is a good perspective to go shift over to the daily analysis to get more perspective on what will happen. Within the next few days on MicroStrategy, guys, we are going to see the upside or the down to these lower levels or the up. Right, we've been very, very patient, and we've remained neutral in this whole phase, really, this whole consolidation phase. You know, we remain unbiased on the channel, guys, and we're not going to come on here and lie, right? That's why we made the channel, to make real unbiased technical analysis. And, you know, looking at the chart, we are seeing lower highs crescendo right back down into this double dip support. Notice how previously when we got to these levels, we bounce, right? We bounced. We came right up to the ceiling, but now we came back down to this low range with a quite nice candle structure. And we're already back down revisiting these lows. So within this context, being that we're hanging out in this range for quite some time, you are going to see a big movement up within the next few days. And if we get that, guys, a bullish engulfing S candle, which is very, very probable, you could see this range actually being broken, guys. And we could finally get that breakup to the upside to hop back into this prior consolidation channel, which we hung out in the past. And that is the best case scenario for the buyers, right? But to play devil's advocate, guys, if we do confirm to the lower, really below that, 373.50, if we crack below that, guys, we had a big wick out today, and it's very likely we get that again. So we could say with confidence that whether way we bounce within the next day or two is going to lead the trend. So if we break 373.50 strong, right, we're going to remain data oriented. I'm going to let the stock speak for us. We should be moving lower into eventually these lower levels, 368 being the first, and then the next level being down here at 354, where buyers can step in and continue to trend, right? But as of now, guys, we're very much seeing that this is a critical spot, right? We either trick out these bears who tried to short sell on these lower highs, crescendoing down, right? Or we squeeze up to the upside and probably get the break of this uptrend, this upward ascending channel and this resistance marker. As the sledgehammer theory remains true, the more times you hit something, with strength, you're likely to break it, guys. And we're definitely seeing this indication where we could trap short sellers within this region, squeeze up and get that explosive movement up, which 100% can happen. But to flip it to the bearish side, we could see that confirmation to the bearish side to eventually have this consolidation phase be made up its mind, right? Being that we're right here at the floor, having to make a move soon, perhaps moving lower. This is the best time, guys, to shift over to the micro analysis, being the hourly, to pick up some signs that the daily isn't showing us. Within this ascending channel, guys, we've continued to mention throughout the weeks, the stock has had this very clear descending channel where if we get over the top, we see the upside back to the top of this range. Once again, we mentioned within these candles, we likely have more room to the downside to eventually continue to retest this channel before getting the breakout, which we did point out over here. Once again, stock price moved to the top of this range. And now, once again, we're continuing to build amongst this before attempting, once again, another breakout. Where if we get this breakout, guys, within that region, once again, we do lean to breaking out of this phase, eventually gaining $400 and leading to very, very bullish times. So we are seeing the beginning of that breakout on mstr or the breakdown. It's as simple as that. As you've seen stock price gap down, right, leading into last trading day, momentarily false breaking down below, trapping short sellers in their position, hoping to get in on this lower dip. But then we immediately squeeze right back up with a bullish engulfing, and we currently have the hammer candle perfectly printed on this ascending support holding in. So if we see price action drastically knife down below 370, 350, it's very unlikely that we get another bounce, guys, as then within that region, short sellers will be in control, guys. So within the next few days, this just gets us another beautiful example that really the sky's the limit. If we have this hard bounce, we're going to come up and likely destroy this resistance level, right? As we continue to move to the bottom of this channel, break this descending resistance, right? Move to the bottom of the channel, break this descending resistance, move to the bottom of the channel, and break this descending resistance, especially having short sellers trapped. And that momentarily false breakdown, it definitely has to, let you know, guys, that this is very, very time sensitive. Over the last few weeks, we've been very, very calm, collected, knowing that we're going to stay in this phase for some time. But we're seeing indication, guys, that literally within the next 1, 2, 3 days, we're either going to continue this drop to move down to these lower levels, 354, or we're going to finally get back up, break this descending resistance, right? Eventually get over this range-like area and fill this gap at 400, ultimately reclaiming it into these upper levels. So stock price is at an inflection point, which could depict the next few weeks of trend. We remain long-term bullish on strategy, guys. We still have that $500 price target, right? Stock price is very, very good within this overall structure, but as a technical analyst, you have to be able to use things in different perspectives. Yes, we're moving in the right direction, guys, bullish, but there still can be, in theory, a short-term pullback to eventually get buyers to continue up higher. So as of now, we remain 0% unbiased, guys, and we are aware that within the next few days, if we get that confirmation below 370, 350, right, we're going to see downside to continue to pull down within this trend, or we're going to form that very likely bullish engulfing to fill this obvious gap which we led and jumble right back into this consolidation zone. With that being said, guys, this is very, very time sensitive. Keep an eye on this. If we start to curl back over really that 380 range, we're very likely to fill this gap and get to that $400 level. With that being said, guys, we got to go check out Bitcoin, right? If you trade MicroStrategy, you have to check out Bitcoin. And really the number one sign of Bitcoin is been this $106,000 level. We've previously Mentioned over here, we're very, very bullish. We expect 100K to come. We got that 100K movement, right? But now we're starting to see Bitcoin play little games. And this is leading to a big breakout or a breakdown. We see stock price clearly base out at this $106,000 level once, twice, three times, explosive movement up. We come right back down to that level and we try to hold the guys, seeing that we have that body of the candle being here, ultimately closing below it before entering an extremely tight phase for around a week and a half below it, right? We squeeze up right above it. This should be the breakout level, but it plays games. Once again, guys, we bounce right below this level, this very obvious level. We consolidate for 1, 2, 3 days, which looks nice, right? We get that close over and see the upside, but it's once again short-lived. So honestly, really as simple as this, guys. We have the $103,000 support where stock prices continually to be stepped up on, right? It's very important support. And then we have that 106,000, which we just can't hold strong, right? If we see a flip in 180 and Bitcoin closes over strong, right, gets to the top of this trend line, as now we're forming this, consolidation-like phase. If we can reapproach this trend line similar to MicroStrategy, we can get that breakout, guys, and we'll see these $450, $500 levels on strategy as well. But as of now, guys, you got to wonder, being completely unbiased, how many times can we break over and break below this 106,000 before eventually having a little bit more of a, dip? So that's really the number one thing on Bitcoin, guys. Keep an eye on that $103,000 support level. It's just been such an obvious level where everyone's keeping an eye on. Like currently we are bouncing once again, as we did over here to a T. We came down, bounce, right? We consolidated around this level for around a couple of days, got the upside. Right now we got the bounce, so likely we do come down and retest $106,000. But keep in mind, guys, that we really are treading in thin ice anywhere below this level. So not to be a fear monger, Bitcoin is still very, very bullish on the long-term analysis, similar to MicroStrategy. But we can't help but be biased, guys, and see the signs that stock price is, crypto price, right, is being a little bit weak. So keep that in mind, guys. We're likely to see the confirmation with MicroStrategy and Bitcoin simultaneously. If we see stock price curl back up, reclaim 106,000, you're likely to see MicroStrategy mimic that with holding the bottom of this channel and moving up higher to $400, $422, $440, and ultimately the $500 price target, which we do have on the channel, guys. If you found any value, consider subscribing. Hope you guys have a good day. Take care and peace.